Hello and welcome to another Block Chat. This week we have episode number 122 in front of us. And it's going to be a special episode. It's going to be a special episode because I'm going to bring one of our team members, in front of all of you who watch us every other week. With us today is somebody who has been very, very active in the Web3 community here in Slovenia for the past few years. It's somebody I've met a while back at one of the Ethereum events. We're going to talk about that a bit more later on. And it's somebody who is a Web3 engineer. It's somebody who's bringing to life the products that we develop at Blocksquare and that we maintain, and the features that we add to our ecosystem. Kristjan, uh, come on stage. Let me bring you on stage here. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Busy morning, and you?
Um, I'm doing great. I think we're doing a lot of things behind the scenes at Blocksberg, right? A lot of times things that our team is working on relentlessly day in day out is not something that is visible to everyone following us from the outside. And obviously we're tackling, one of the hardest subjects of Web3 and RWA, which is bringing real estate on chain. And it has obviously its own challenges. But Christian, I wanted to dive right into something that how long how is it almost a year now that you've joined Blocksquare, right?
Yeah. Next week it will be 1 year. So time flies.
Time flies indeed. And I remember, you know, um, seeing you around mainly on social media before we actually met,
Yeah.
and connecting with you. And we met, I think, we didn't meet in Ljubljana. We met in Istanbul, right?
Yeah. 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 So yeah, that's a story. I think it's like many in this space in Ljubljana, Slovenia, is that we met with these people that are working in Web3 in different countries. So when we go to other places like Istanbul and all these conferences, we then create a group on Telegram, all Slovenians on on Istanbul or somewhere. I like that. I
Yeah,
met there, but not in Ljubljana. And that's how we met. We both were
yeah,
in Istanbul at DevConnect. Yeah.
yes.
And then we just said, well, let's get a beer if we are both here, even though we are living in Ljubljana. But yeah, we met there.
Yeah, I remember we were I think we were we I was at one of the the side events during DevConnect, and it was organized by the Graph, which we started a collaboration with a bit earlier, and I know that you were interested in the technology, how subgraphs work, etc. And I remember us meeting at that event. And then I think we also watched Vitalik, present one of his speeches.
Yeah.
By the way, Vitalik was at that time, I remember he was on fire. I mean, he had like five different speeches, or maybe even more, in different locations across town. And it's just amazing to see somebody speak so fluently about various different topics
Mm.
without any, you know, piece of paper in front of him.
Yeah, true. He's like he's a genius. Yeah. He's always running from one conference to the other. It's like he's done with the talk, he's running to the other one, just running,
Yeah,
literally, literally.
literally going, just trying to get away from the scene as soon as possible, so nobody goes around and grabs him, I guess.
Yeah,
Um, but
and I,
then,
that was the first time I seen Vitalik live. Yeah,
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 me as well. Me as well. I should have gone to DEF CON in Shanghai. It was around 216, I think, but then something came up and I just couldn't. And I always regretted not doing it because I think it was still kind of pre-hype. Ethereum was in its kind of
Yeah,
$10 stage, and it was a time where probably a lot of those early stage projects were born and founders were lingering around, and so it was maybe an opportunity that was definitely missed of connecting with some people that are now probably the key people in Web3, I would say.
that was really early. When was it? It was like 2017 or something.
Exactly. I think it was maybe even 216, but maybe 2017 was DevCon in Shanghai. Um, And speaking about DEF CONs, I know that you have plans on going to the next event. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, so the next event is in DevConnect in Argentina. So, and I always, like we met in Istanbul, I always love to go to these conferences all around the world. So to meet different people, to meet the people in the space, to connect, to network. So I'm really looking forward to go to Argentina. Never been there, so it looks nice. And Twitter is already hyping the conference, so I think it will be great. There is all kinds of things to do. All kinds of side events are already popping up. I'm just scrolling and see what I will attend. So yeah, looking really forward to that.
I think it's like a week-long conference, right? And I remember from DevConnect in Istanbul that there's usually a very huge co-working space that they set up, and then there's a ton of side events, of course. All the big players are there.
Yeah,
Um, and and besides of that, I think you're gonna stay in Argentina for 3 weeks altogether, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
If I'm already going that far, I can
exactly.
stay a little bit longer to see a little bit around. But even though the conference is 1 week, everything is already happening before the conference, after conference. Even right now, people are already there. There are like pop-up cities, there are communities, co-working spaces. People are already doing events there. So I think it will
Amazing.
be happening for the whole month. Yeah.
Any Spanish you know of? I mean, do you know any Spanish?
Not really, not really. So I hope
All right.
we should be okay.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna have 3 weeks time to learn some of the basics, I guess. Um, but going back, I was always amazed on your side, right? I was always amazed. You are a Web3 engineer now, right? A senior engineer, a lot of experience from your, pre Web3 times as well.
Mhm.
And then of course, the code that you deliver is obviously of great quality, and there's a lot of trust that I see that the team can place in you when you're tasked with, more high level tasks, right? Um, but at the same time, you are as well very much out there, and that's not something that you usually see in software development people, right? People developing software, they're usually more introvert. um, when did you switch towards that, or were you always like that?
Oof, no, but yeah, I agree with what you said. Software engineers usually are like more introverted, so they are not really putting themselves out there. And I wasn't always like this as well. But it started when I switched to Web3. It was like before I was working into Web2 companies. I was mainly focusing on the front end stuff. But when I learned about blockchain and all this space, the values, I had to be in this industry, and that was like 2 years ago. And when I switched to the Web3, I was starting to be passionate more. I was reading about it. I was passionate about this space, and the first time that I went into this kind of community gatherings was when Consensus invited me to be an ambassador for Consensus, and then they invited me to ETH in Paris, and there I met all these amazing people from Consensus, from MetaMask, and this was like basically the start of me socializing outside of my programming duties. And I saw, okay, this is great. This is I really like this networking, meeting all these kind of amazing people. So yeah, that was the start. Then I was just doing these ambassadorships with them. I went to Istanbul again, where we met, and later I think year, yeah, maybe more, I joined Ethereum Slovenia. So Ethereum Slovenia is like a group. There are four of us. We are organizing meetups based on Ethereum ecosystem, and yeah, I'm active there. I'm helping organizing all these meetups, workshops, and other events. And yeah, I like that we don't need to go to Istanbul to meet each other, so we can create an event in Ljubljana. Based, the topic is something about Ethereum. We invite a guest, everybody that's passionate or is somehow connected or working in this space. Come there. We have pizza, we have beer, and we can just talk. Yeah.
Now it's amazing the events that Ethereum Slovenia, by the way, those who are not obviously, in Slovenia can't know this, but I think you're organizing amazing events. It's usually like something between 70 to 100 people that actually come to these events, which kind of speaks to the need for this kind of events to happen. And this is like a big amount of people, even for non-Ljubljana cities, where Ljubljana has on top, like if you count all the small towns around it, it's 400,000 people. It's probably less. So getting 100 people to a meetup that's so niche as Ethereum, it's actually an amazing achievement. So congrats to you and the team for consistently delivering great events and of high quality too. And I think it's important because meeting people face to face, even though we all work remotely, and we have these connections through various chat apps and whatnot, right? But meeting people face to face, it's a totally different experience, and there should be more of those, right?
Yes, I really agree. All our lives are currently remote. We are doing this block chat remotely. We are working remotely. And yeah, I really value these kinds of gatherings and like, yeah, these interactions, real life. Yeah.
And now, if we go maybe from your kind of, you went into Web3 and then Web3 kind of got you into the values that Web3, to summarize, that Web3 is transcending, got you into being more open and more leaning towards or helping organize events, helping spread the word, the educational side of things. Um, do you feel that more people in engineering developer roles should try this out, try to be more kind of proactively involved in this kind of activities?
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity if you don't need to organize, you don't need to speak, but you can just come to this event. And I think this is if you're putting out yourself out there, you will meet all kinds of people, all kinds of opportunities will arise. You never know who you will meet, and maybe you'll start looking for a job. Maybe you met a guy on the Ethereum Slovenia meetup, and he'll say, hey, we are looking for developers, and that's your connection. And yeah, I think it's a win situation. It's good for personal growth to go to these kind of events, and maybe if you're up to it, maybe actively do something, maybe. Yeah. So yeah, I agree.
Going now towards the work you do at Blocksquare.
Mhm.
So in the past year, since you've come to Blocksquare, I remember one of the first assignments was working on the MVO indexer
Yes.
that
Yes.
was originally built
Mhm.
by Simon, our co-CTO, and who's overseeing the Web3 side of development. Um, and he built before that. He built the subgraphs
Mhm.
that we were running on on the graph infrastructure, and then we migrated to MVO
Mhm.
because we felt that development cycles and iterations were a problem, especially as we are developing, our product line. Um, and now seeing MVO, our indexer today, can you tell us a bit more about that kind of journey from that point in this year?
Mhm.
What happened with it?
Yeah. When I came to Blocksquare, yeah, I was the plan for me was to work on the all parts of the stack from the smart contracts to indexer to the front end. And yeah, the first assignment was Envio, and I think it was a good assignment because when you're working on the indexer, you basically are exposed to smart contract and for the front end. So we basically learn the whole stack, and this was a really good thing to do to start there. But yeah, when you switch to Envio from Graphia, it's really more developer experience is really better. The indexing is faster, and when I saw that, because I had experience with Graph as well before on some other projects I was working, and Envio is really easier to set up. The main Ethereum is like indexed in 5 minutes, so it's really easier to develop and test. You don't need to wait 2 hours to test something. You just yeah. So I started working on that. I don't remember which features exactly, but yeah, we were implementing a lot of stuff since then, and just recently we open sourced this code base. So I think that there's a long way was from that point to open source this indexer, and I think that was a step in the right direction because, like in blockchain Web3, transparency, trust, these are like big keywords, and to open source a part of our infrastructure, it's really important for this. Yeah.
Yeah, for those who maybe don't understand what an indexer is, you
Mhm.
know, how I would explain it, in blockchain, you have transactions that happen, and these transactions can emit events, and these events are individual pieces of data that don't mean much. But when you gather them all together, when you record this and gather them all together, and then you can output them as basically, you can query the data that is recorded or produced on chain, and you can deliver it to a front end application for its use. And what it enables is that it's always in sync with the state on the blockchain. Um, I remember when we were starting Blocksquare, we had a big issue of how to deal with asynchronicity of data, because this kind of indexing was not available in this way. So David built an indexer for our smart contract system, and obviously, it was a flawed. Let's say it was a very good example. If David is watching, it was a great solution. But
Yeah.
obviously, it was not a specialized solution like, this indexers today, like
Yeah.
MVO can offer, right?
Yeah. It's really amazing that this space is really evolving so fast. So you were starting in, I don't know, 2018 or 19. It's crazy. I mean, if David was working on the indexer then, I mean, this is a hard thing to do. If you see now Envy, Graph, and all these companies, they're just specializing on the indexing part, you know. And
Exactly. Yeah.
it's crazy, yeah. But I think kudos to Blocksquare, because when I came to the company, I know it started so long ago, and pace is changing rapidly. But still, the infrastructure was up to date. It's not that I came here and I saw, all right, oh, this is really outdated. It's not. It was done good from the start. So it's really the test of time. It succeeded. Yeah.
And I hope, I mean, that's kudos to our tech team, of course, especially in those initial times, and here directly to David, who basically built a lot of it,
Mm,
um, a lot of this, and Simon as well.
mm,
And I mean, now we're from a dev personnel point of view, we're a small team, right? And obviously, that's something that then creates certain challenges, and we're trying to scale it, but scaling the amount of people versus the quality of people, the people that get it, right? Is also something that you can't just fast track, right? You need to find the right people who will understand what we're building and feel that what we're building is important at the same time. 1 year at Blocksquare, what would be your kind of recap, or maybe what would you say to anyone who is thinking of coming and knocking on our door saying, hey, uh, can I work on Blocksquare?
yeah. First of all, this 1 year just went by so fast. I really didn't realize it was. I still have a feeling that it's like 3 months ago I started. But that's when you're having have a good time. Time flies. Um, but in 1 year, I would say, yeah, I really like the vibes here. It's really relaxing. Um, you're As a developer, I had a chance to work in all these parts of stack, so I wasn't just put in one part. I was working on contracts, on indexer, on front end, and this really I enjoyed it because I really like to work on this every part. Before Web3, like I said, I was only front end. When I came to Web3, I added Solidity and all this other stuff. So that was what I really liked at Blocksquare. And for the new guys joining, I think we are very flexible in terms. If you're working on one stuff and you decided, I really want to expand my knowledge, maybe on smart contracts, yeah, we can give you some assignments for smart contracts. So I think it's really good opportunity for your growth if you're willing, if you have if you want to do something, yeah, we can accommodate that there. And yeah,
I
overall,
think
I had a great experience this past year.
I'm really glad to hear. I mean, you
Yeah,
maybe I'm here and we're on the block chat and you can't say otherwise, but I do feel that that's exactly how, the way you feel about working here at Blocksquare. And I think you found, I hope that you have found a good work environment. And you going to DevConnect as a team member of Blocksquare, even though you're in the engineering team, you expressed, "Hey, I would like to go there. I have plans to go there, and I'd love to do some business development work as well for Blocksquare." So anyone who will be in Buenos Aires this coming month. Do reach out to Kristjan on TG or any other channels. And if you are interested to learn more about RWA, about tokenizing real estate and what Blockwork can offer, maybe you have some partnerships in mind, or any type of other type of collaboration, do reach out and you can meet with Kristjan while he's there. And yeah, maybe grab a beer with him.
Yeah. I would love that. Yeah, that's the one point I'm going there. It's to just go to all these side events, to companies, maybe the companies we are already working with, to just connect in real life. And yeah, if somebody wants to know more about Blocksquare, what we are doing, I'm there. I can talk. Let's grab a beer or coffee, and yeah,
One thing I would like to also cover in this block chat, because I have you here,
yeah,
is account abstraction. You're the main engineer working on account abstraction at Blocksquare, right?
yeah,
And this was your main preoccupation, you know, besides maybe some other assignments around for the past, what,
yeah. It's 3 months.
2 months,
Yeah,
3 months, maybe even from research, initial research to now, where we are very close to a release candidate for account abstraction, right? There's obviously a few more tweaks that need to be done, maybe,
mhm.
but um, can you tell us the story of account abstraction from your point of view?
Yeah, true. Yeah, I think this is a big topic and could be just a separate block chat just for account abstraction. Yeah, but what is account abstraction? First, when you are interacting with these decentralized apps right now, you need an extension. You need a wallet. So you need to install on Chrome MetaMask, and you can then with this wallet you can interact with these apps like our app or any other app. And for new people, if you're targeting like if you want mass adoption like Web3 industry wants, you need to simplify this. And just like now, people are used to just to go to the app and that's it. Create an account with an email, and you're in. You are now working with that app. But with Web3, people that are not crypto native, it's really hard for them to learn about, and it's really blocker to install separate app just to use our app. Then you basically get scared when you see all this security, like save your private key, save this seed phrase. If you lose it, you will lose all your funds, and you are just oh fuck, oh fuck. It's yeah, it's really scary. So what account abstraction is doing, um, this is so basically you can do it. You don't need this extension, you don't need the separate app, but you can just create your on-chain wallet with an email like you used to. So you're basically abstracting all of that private keys, all of that seed phrases. You came to the app, enter email, behind the scenes you get the wallet. You as a user you don't even need to know that you got the wallet. So basically it's really getting easier to interact with decentralized apps. And we started to integrate that because we are doing real estate tokenization. So we want to bring investing in real estate to the masses. So not just crypto native folks. Just if somebody wants to invest 100 euros, they can do it. And we want them to have a simpler process as possible. So yeah, we started to 3 months ago. Yeah, started with research about account abstraction, to finding the right SDKs, to write everything about it, and yeah, it was. We had a lot of challenges, but currently we are already at the finish line. We need to do some testing, but yeah, the flow now for investing would be like create an account at Blocksquare, put some money in it, and you buy real estate tokens, and that's it. No more neat extensions, no more MetaMask, no more seed phrases, and I think that's a good thing. So I hope in the next 2 3 weeks we could be live with that. Yeah.
That's amazing, and that's it's great to hear the explanation of how you see account abstraction, and what uh, versus what I explained sometimes,
Yeah.
um, because I see it in a very similar way as you do, of course, and we users we users of Web3, let's call us that,
Yeah.
you know, as we were discussing in one of the calls, I remember with Simon, for instance, and he said, well, I'm not a user of account abstraction. I will always connect my wallet to an app, and he's, you know, a die-hard Web3 user.
Yeah.
Most probably,
Mm-hmm.
it's the same for me, maybe, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and probably for you as well. But
Yeah.
at the same time, for somebody who doesn't own a wallet, the process of getting a wallet, understanding a wallet, it's so long.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's already too much for the same day, but you need to onboard a user in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, you lose the user.
Yeah.
The user goes away, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here's where account abstraction can really help, because you know you can skip that step. You can still offer it to the you know, to the Web3 diehard users,
Mm-hmm.
um, and that's always going to be there probably. Um, but with account abstraction, you have this alternative option for everybody else,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I think that's powerful. The only missing piece, which is something that our partnership with Banksa is already kind of hinting at, is the ability to easily go from, you know, fiat to stablecoins,
Mm-hmm.
and then be able to interact with your smart wallet
Yeah.
within a marketplace like
Mm-hmm.
a real estate marketplace, like we offer. Um, and I think that's kind of the missing piece is, you know, how do you make it very easy for people to just switch from fiat to stablecoins and vice versa? And
Yeah.
I think, as we have never imagined account abstraction 5 years ago, I
Mm-hmm.
never imagined this is possible, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if you did, but
No.
I think it was, you know, it was something, okay, but Web3 is always going to have this, you know, steps of obtaining a wallet, you know, making it secure. You could have it even as complicated as a hardware wallet where you order it and then you wait weeks to get it, you
Yeah.
know? And and now with account abstraction, you have the same security, you know,
Mm-hmm.
in a much faster, easier way to digest for everybody who is already used to using the internet.
Yeah.
And I think that's powerful. Now, the question is, will we see in the next 5 years an iteration of going from fiat to stablecoins? How will the world change
Yeah.
and make this more seamless? Maybe fiat and stablecoins will, you know, converge into one. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it's going to be interesting to see how in the future, what kind of solutions come to the market in the future to make this even more seamless
Mm-hmm.
for the everyday user.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's hard to talk about 5 years because every month in crypto is like all the new things. But yeah, I think there are a lot of stuff to be improved, and in the future, I hope it will be we come to abstract everything, so the user will use the decentralized apps like they're using apps now. They won't know which blockchain they are on. They won't know which asset they need to use. They will just buy with fiat on ramp. Okay, I have this. I have 1,000 euros in my app. I invest in real estate, and I have so much revenues right now. But behind the scenes, he doesn't need to know. He has USDC. He's on the Ethereum. He's on the Arbitrum. He's wherever. So I think in the future we'll come to this. So everything will be so abstracted. Everything will be connected. Um, and it will be easier to on ramp because banks are already researching blockchain integration and stable coins. So I think this will be integrated in really all kinds of points in our lives, and we'll be using blockchain, and we won't even know it. Yeah,
I'm always thinking, you know, maybe, just maybe,
yeah,
you know, today you go and you pay with your phone from, you know, you have a card that's in your, you know, iPhone wallet, and then you can pay whatever. And you have, you know, this crypto cards companies, and maybe, just maybe there needs to be something that happens with account extraction and and credit cards that just makes it much easier to just hold stablecoins instead of fiat. And maybe, just maybe, people will not use fiat so much anymore as they do now.
Yeah.
But the question is mainly the people that are not in Web3, they make money outside of stable coins and on-chain assets. They are paid in, very traditionally to their bank accounts, paycheck.
Yeah.
And obviously that provenance of funds is always there. So the question is going to be, where does it converge? How do people see Web3? Do they see it as another place where they need to transfer money from their normie accounts to their Web3 accounts somehow? Or does it converge into one, and then everything is just one seamless experience for the end user? We're gonna see it. It's gonna be exciting to see what happens in the future.
Yeah.
Um, it's gonna be exciting to see, what new things will be presented at DevConnect in Buenos Aires, in Argentina, this coming month.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to hear from you.
Yeah.
Some new information. Maybe, if you send us like a video recap and we include it in a blog chat, and then we present DevConnect. But definitely, I think when you come back,
Mhm.
we can have a dedicated episode on account abstraction, because
Yeah.
I would assume that after DevConnect, this will become available to every user in the Blocksquare ecosystem. And yeah, any last remarks, Kristjan, for our community?
No, I'm really honored to be on Block Chat. I'm watching Block Chats I don't miss any Block Chat since I'm here, and I'm honored to be here. Yeah, can wait for the Argentina, and um, I'm willing to do another Block Chat to talk about my experience there, to deep dive into account abstraction and everything. Yeah.
All
So
right.
yeah.
So I guess that being said, we're gonna have you on another blog chat in hopefully around a month time from now, maybe a bit more when you come back. And I wish you a safe trip to Argentina when you fly there. I think we also have a great event that Ethereum Slovenia is organizing this month. Is it this month?
Yeah, it's the end of month 29th, and
Oh, all right.
so everybody's welcome to join. Its current topic will be market making with Orcabay. So
Okay.
anybody interested?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'm gonna try and make sure that I'm there. And can wait to see you offline. All
Yes.
right. Take care.